Brad Pitt.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, his life after that very public split from Angelina Jolie.
Right.
So we've got this recent article calling it his fresh start, and we're going to, break it all down for you, what it all means.
Sounds interesting. It is. It's definitely a story that, well, people are paying attention to, especially with how public everything is with celebrities.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even navigate something like that? I mean,
Right.
under a microscope like that.
Well, so the article, it starts by kind of painting this picture of Brad Pitt and how he's embracing this healthier lifestyle. They even talk about, like, his new look, the silvery beard and relaxed clothing.
Oh, wow.
They even mention a velvet tote bag.
Really?
Yeah, like he's, shedding that old Hollywood image.
That's interesting. So it's like he's really, I don't know, it's almost like he's trying to, like, create a new persona or something.
Right.
What I find really interesting is they mention a meditation room.
Oh, yeah.
And aromatherapy. So is this like a real shift, like, to a more holistic way of well-being?
Yeah, and there's this, I don't know, it's like they really want to contrast this with, his past. Like, a source even mentioned, quote, a shift away from bonds and booze.
Wow. Okay.
It's like, is this,
Yeah.
is this genuine, or he's just, like, conforming to some new lifestyle?
Right.
Maybe because of, well, his girlfriend.
Insta Ramon.
Yeah, Enza Ramon.
Yeah, that's a great question, because the article does say that she encouraged him to reset his thinking
Right.
during the, the divorce and everything. But what does that even mean? Reset his thinking. Did he, like, was there a specific philosophy he embraced? Like, did he go to therapy? Like, we need more details to really, like, see if this transformation is what, is actually real.
Well, and speaking of, difficult times, I mean, the article kind of addresses the elephant in the room.
The
Right?
divorce?
Yeah, the 8-year divorce battle.
Oh, gosh.
8 years. It's finally over. They reached a settlement.
Okay.
But can you imagine? I mean, just the toll that must have taken.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, a high-profile divorce like that. I mean, think about it. There's the money,
Yeah.
the media. It's got to be, I mean, the emotional strain must be incredible.
And the article even mentions that, Brad Pitt used to, I guess he used to try and dull the pain with certain substances. But, he's finding healthier ways now.
Good for him.
Yeah, possibly with Enos' support.
That's great to hear. It's so common, especially with people in the spotlight, to turn to those, not so healthy ways of coping. But the fact that, he's actually trying to, manage everything in a healthier way, it shows he wants to grow personally.
It really makes you think about resilience, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just about, getting through something tough.
Right.
It's about, using it to change for the better.
Absolutely. And this ties into, we're seeing this more and more these days, especially with people like Brad Pitt, embracing these, they're often called new age practices, but let's actually look at what that means, like aromatherapy, for instance.
Right.
It's about using these oils, these essential oils, and, they're supposed to have benefits, like relaxation, stress reduction.
So it's not just about appearances.
Right. No,
It's deeper than that.
Right.
It makes you wonder, is this like a personal journey? Or is it, I don't know, is it more about, his public image?
that is fascinating. And, who can say for sure? But I think, honestly, it's probably both.
Yeah.
Maybe by being so open about it all, he's trying to say something like, hey, I'm not, that stereotypical Hollywood guy anymore.
That's a good point. It raises another question, though. How much do our partners really influence us?
Oh, that's a big one. I mean, our relationships, they definitely shape us.
For sure.
But, there's a difference between, like, conforming to what someone else wants and, like, really taking on new things that, that fit with what you want, your values.
So I guess with Brad Pitt, it all comes down to this, right?
Yeah.
Is this fresh start? Is it is it real personal growth? Or is it, like you said, this carefully constructed, image?
Well, to figure that out, I mean, we need to, like, really look at the evidence.
Yeah.
Go beyond the surface. Look at his actions, his choices.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's shift gears a little. Let's look at, the professional side of things.
Right.
Has this, personal transformation, has it changed his career, his choices?
Okay, yeah. let's get into it. Well, this is where it gets, really interesting. Brad Pitt, I mean, he's always gone for these complex roles, these characters that, they're dealing with stuff, inner turmoil, all that.
Right.
So it makes you wonder, right? Like, now that he's all about, well-being and self-discovery and all that, is that gonna, I don't know, show up in the roles he picks?
It's funny you should say that, because I was looking back at some of his recent projects.
Oh, yeah.
And it does seem like there's been a bit of a shift. Like, take that indie drama he did about the reclusive artist, rediscovering his passion and all that. It wasn't a huge hit or anything.
Right.
But it was, I don't know, it felt like deeper, more about internal struggles.
I see what you mean. Like, it's almost like he's moving away from, I don't know, like that whole action hero thing.
Yeah.
And going for roles that are, well, more emotional, more vulnerable.
And this whole fresh start thing, I mean, it could be strategic too.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about it. He's been, a huge star for decades.
Oh.
Maybe this is his way of saying, hey, I'm different now.
Okay, yeah.
Like to directors, to audiences, I'm ready for something new.
I think you might be right. I mean, we see it all the time, don't we?
Yeah.
Actors reinventing themselves, especially after, big life changes.
Yeah. So this fresh start is like he's taking back control.
Exactly. Of his story, personally and professionally.
Okay, but let's not forget, I mean, there's another big part of his life that's been all over the news. His role as a father.
Right, of course.
I mean, the article doesn't really get into it.
Yeah.
But you can't just ignore, the impact of this divorce.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Especially on his kids.
8 years. It's a long time.
And so public.
Yeah.
All that media attention.
I know.
It affects kids, divorce does. But add all that other stuff on top of it.
It's a lot.
It's gotta be really tough.
Yeah. And, I mean, we can't really know what's going on with his family.
Right.
But it does make you think, how does this fresh start affect him as a dad?
That's a good question. Is he trying to, create a better environment for his kids?
Yeah.
More stability, more nurturing. Is he trying to, rebuild those relationships?
It's hard to say, I guess. Only the people close to him would know.
But, from a psychological standpoint, it's pretty common.
What do you mean?
Well, when people go through big life changes, they often try to be better. Not just for themselves, but for the people they love.
So this fresh start, it's not just about him then?
No, it could be about, trying to heal, trying to grow.
For his family?
Right. It's like, recognizing that when you change, it affects everyone around you.
Wow, yeah. It makes you wonder. I mean, if this is a real change for him, will it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Will it affect what he does in the future?
His choices, yeah.
Like professionally?
Yeah.
Personally? Will we see him, I don't know, getting involved in causes?
Oh, maybe. Like mental health awareness.
Yeah.
Or something about, families.
Yeah, exactly.
That wouldn't be surprising. I mean, a lot of people who've gone through tough times, they want to help others.
It's like they want to use their experience for something good.
Exactly.
So this fresh start, it's not just a personal thing.
Maybe not.
It could be bigger,
yeah,
more meaningful.
It'd be a way for him to, connect with people in a deeper way. Use his influence.
To make a difference.
Right. And that brings us back to the big question.
The one we keep coming back to.
Is this real? Is this who he is now? Or is it all just for show?
Only time will tell, really. I mean, the actions speak louder than words, right?
We have to see what he does to really know if this fresh start is, well, if it's genuine.
It's funny. As we've been talking about all this, I've been thinking, there's something bigger here. I mean, bigger than just Brad Pitt.
Oh, okay.
This whole idea of a fresh start, it's something we all think about, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, life, it throws everyone a curveball now and then. We all face those moments,
Yeah.
where we have to reevaluate our priorities, our values, where are we going?
Whether it's divorce or, I don't know, losing a job,
Yeah.
a health scare, or even just feeling stuck.
Right.
We all want that, that reset button.
The chance to start over.
Exactly, to create a life that's, well, more fulfilling, more authentic. It's interesting, right? Like Brad Pitt's story, it's, I don't know, it's like this Hollywood version of something we all want.
Yeah. We get caught up in the, the glitz and glamour, the retreats, the new romances.
Right.
But real change, it's got to be deeper than that. It's a shift, isn't it? Like in your mindset.
So it's less about what you do and more about how you think.
Exactly. It's about, taking a hard look at yourself, figuring out what's not working, and then you got to actually do something. Take those steps, even if they're hard, to build a life you actually want.
A life that, matches your values and all that, which, let's be honest, it's probably harder than just like booking a fancy vacation.
Oh, for sure. It takes, you got to be honest with yourself. And sometimes you need help, therapy maybe, or a mentor, or even just, talking to people you trust.
And it's not like you just change overnight.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
There are going to be times when, you mess up, you fall back into old habits. It's normal.
But as long as you keep trying, keep growing, you'll get there.
It's like, think of it as, I don't know, like a journey, not a destination.
Okay, yeah.
There are going to be bumps along the way, right?
Sure.
But each one, even the tough ones, they teach you something. They help you grow.
I like that. It's like it takes the pressure off,
Yeah.
Like your fresh start doesn't have to be perfect.
Right. It's about progress, not perfection. And, Brad Pitt's story, I think it shows us something.
What's that?
It's never too late to start over. To try again, to figure out who you are, who you want to be, whether you're, going through a divorce or a job change or, I don't know, just feeling lost.
We all have the power to change, right?
I do. And maybe, just maybe, Brad Pitt's, sharing his story, maybe it'll inspire other people to do the same, to look inside themselves, to embrace change, to create a life they're proud of.
What a thought.
It would be quite a legacy.
So as we wrap up our deep dive today, let's leave our listeners with something to think about. What can you do today, right now, to start your own fresh start? What changes can you make? What habits can you start? What relationships can you, nurture to build a life that's, a life that's good for you, a life that feels real?
It's a great question. I hope everyone, takes some time to think about that.
You too. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.